You are listening to Comedy Club for Kids presents Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense.
Hello and welcome to Radio Nonsense, the official Comedy Club for Kids podcast that's suitable for all ages from 2. And everything in between. I'm Tiernan, and listeners, look, I love how many listeners this show gets, and you are all brilliant. But as you know, sometimes I just feel like absolutely everyone in the universe and their auntie should be listening to this show. So I've been looking at how to make Radio Nonsense even more popular. Haven't I, Linda? Linda, I've been looking at how to make Radio Nonsense reach even more listeners, haven't I, Linda? Ah, well. But it seems that even though this show does loads of things that people want, there's 3 things I haven't yet tried, and I thought that maybe one of them could make this the most popular podcast, no show, no book, but loud in the world. The first of these things is to have a celebrity guest on. So, there they are. Listeners, I've invited a very special celebrity guest to the show. There he is. Wow. Welcome. Listeners, right here live is Dennis Tremendous, the world's most famous bonsai tree. You might know him from playing a full-size tree but really far away in the background of pretty much every film, TV show, computer game, book, bit of graffiti, crayon drawing, all of those things in the world. That is Dennis. Tree in the distance? Nope, it's Dennis, but he's up close. Dennis, how does it feel to be the first celebrity guest ever on Radio Nonsense? Oh, I see. Tricky interviewee, are you? Really thinking about your answers. Okay, Dennis. What's been the best tree role that you've ever played? Hang on a second, you're just a small bonsai tree. No wonder you can't talk. Who left this tree outside my door? I'm going to put you back outside, Dennis. Time for you to make like a tree and leaf. Okay, that idea didn't work, listeners. But I've got a second one here that I think this has got to make this show the most popular podcast in the world. The second idea is to have an outrageous opinion about something, and then everyone will get talking about how outrageous my opinion is, and then they'll all have to listen in to see what brilliant ideas I have. Okay, I can do that. Let me think. Outrageous idea. Wait for it, listeners. I've got one. Pasta is really tasty. No, wait, hang on. Everyone thinks that. Gordon is a great name for a dog. No, sorry, it's not actually that outrageous, is it? Oh, no, hang on. I've got it. Well, Wednesday should be backwards. Yeah, that's right. I think the day Wednesday should start at night and end in the morning. And anyone who says otherwise is just a stupid butterbrain fart box. And yeah, we shouldn't even call them Wednesdays. We should call them Yedesnadoos. Yeah. Outrage. Was that word? Is the telephone going to ring? Anyone calling to give me all their money and to advertise their expensive potatoes yet? No. Oh, this is really hard, listeners. I mean, there's just so much content out there. I don't even know how you break through to be popular if you, even when you've got celebrity bonsai tree guests and you're saying outrageous things. Look, I've got one more thing I can try, but before I set that up, just a little reminder that if you have a question you need to have answered, or you want to send in a joke you've written for me to read out, or anything else at all, then please get your nearest gumpy dizzard, grown up, to help you email me at podcast@comedyclub4kids.co.uk. And of course, you can also drop me a line by giving the show a nice review on Apple Podcasts or Amazon Music, or by replying on the Spotify Q&A for each and every episode. Okay, this last task says I've got to make the show more brain rot. Brain rot? How am I going to do that? This show is so super intelligent and serious. There must be a way to make this show more brain rot. Okay. I've got an idea, but it's going to take a little while. So as I do that, you listen to this most importantest bit. Welcome to Radio Nonsense, the inventor of the world's most popular new toy, chairs. The chair that's just a chair and does only what chairs do. Yes, it is Laura Lexx. Oh, Laura, it's so nice to have you back on the show. How are you?
I'm really great. I'm in a chair now. It's so
Wow.
much nicer than standing up talking to you.
Yes,
You ever
very
just
good point.
Do you know when you see stuff and you think, I want to put my bum on that? And I think
Yes.
that's what's great about chairs is that no one can stop you smushing your bum into it. It's what it's for.
That is, I mean, it's when you put it like that, because there are times you think, oh, I want to put a bum on that. And you think, no,
Yeah.
that'll be too hot. That'll be spiky.
Yeah, or
that'll be
mum will tell
cold.
me not to. And she's, get your bum off that lamppost, get your bum off that dog, get your bum off the
Yes.
cheese, Laura. That was always happening to me until I invented the chair that is just a chair. And now suddenly I can just put my bum on it whenever I want to.
I mean, that's incredible. But it's I find it amazing because you invented chairs and they are chairs, but you're now sitting in a chair. Do you not? Is that not like what do they call it? Like, is it a busman's holiday when you're doing the thing that you do all day? Like, how do you find?
I think when it's something as cool as chairs, you just never get tired of it. Like I don't think astronauts working at NASA have the same feeling. I think if you've invented a rocket ship, you watch it go up once and then that's really boring. Rockets and
Yes.
space. I mean, once you've looked at the sky once, you're not very interested anymore, are you? Whereas a chair is endlessly fascinating. And you've got, there's two in the room I'm currently in. They're so different. They're such different
Wow.
beasts. One's white with adjustable hand
Yeah.
things. And
Wow.
one's one of those real boring ones that when you get sweaty, your legs sort of stick to it.
Oh wow. Yeah, those are quite useful though if you've got very slippery legs and then
Yes.
and you need them to stay in place. Because I mean, it's something you mentioned with space. You can't really sit down in space. You're always floating about.
Yeah, absolutely. And like my slippery chair. Have you ever put an otter on a chair? They love it. They absolutely love it, especially a slippery chair. If you send an otter into space, you get told off.
Yes, that's true, isn't it? Which is a shame because I think they'd be pretty great in space.
Yeah. Otter space. That's what you have to
Outer
send them to.
space, yes. I mean, well, there you go. That's exactly the reason it should be sent to outer space. That's a missed opportunity. I mean, because there was
Opportunity, actually. It's a missed opportunity.
Oh, I see. Yes, I'm so sorry. This is why you're the marketing expert, and I'm not. This is why you've sent chairs all around the world. You've sold chairs to people who already had chairs.
Yeah.
Which is there were children in high chairs, and you sold them normal chairs.
Yeah.
And I think that's incredible.
Yeah. Sometimes I get mice and I give them low chairs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do they stay on those?
Depends if the chair's made of cheese. If you make a cheese chair,
sure.
a mouse will stay on it. Excuse me, that was a small burp happened there. We can edit that out in the... Or we'll just leave it in and leave the sorry in.
Yeah, leave it in. It's the sort of thing you do in a chair. I mean, I'd burp in a chair.
It was one of those burps, though, that just ekes itself out while you're talking. So it's not like you stopped to go... "Bleh." It just sort
Yes.
of came out in the words. So what do you
Yes.
do about those?
Those are, but I feel like those, I don't know, they're expressive burps. They're part of your, like, the way you might put a full stop in a sentence.
Yeah. They're just part of life, aren't they?
I think so, yes.
There's a lot of chairs. I
There's a
think
lot of
the
chairs.
best thing about marketing these, the best success we've had in the campaign, is that we've managed to get it so that every time someone has a drink with a friend and they're sort of clinking and saying that they're happy to see each other, we've managed to persuade all adults to say chairs as they do that.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Chairs, that's very good. And
Chairs.
often I suppose they would be sitting in chairs while they do it.
Often. There are sometimes stools, and I
Yes.
hate stools. A stool is
Wow.
not a chair.
Is that right?
Where's your back support? Why is it named after a poo?
That's a good question, isn't it? I did think, yes. That's because sometimes when people, like at a doctor, they might say, we need a stool sample. And then you can't
Exactly.
take them a stool, like from a bar
No.
or from a somewhere you might sit. Because they just think, well, I don't need this. I've already got a chair. I've got a doctor's chair.
Even if you put a stool in a blender and put it in the little pot that they've given you for a stool sample, they're still cross with you. That's what I found.
Wow. I mean, it must be really hard to blend like a wooden stool.
Yeah, I've ruined a lot of blenders. Yeah.
Yes.
If
yes,
you
I can
poo in the
imagine.
blender with the bit of stool, that does lubricate it somewhat, but you've still ruined the blender.
You still ruin the blender, yes, and then you've got a really undrinkable smoothie.
A horrible smoothie.
Yes, a really horrible smoothie.
That's why chairs are better.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good... Yeah, I mean, and what about... some people get a job where they're a chair of something, and I've never understood... do they have to then go into the office and everyone just sits on them? Is that how that works?
That's what it is. If you're the chairman of the company, every time somebody in your company gets tired legs, you have to run behind them, go on all fours and let them sit on you. That's what that means. Right.
But it is because it's quite a respected position. But I guess it is because you're being a chair and chairs are great.
You're being the supportive member. You have to have a strong back, strong knees. Have you ever watched a grown-up try and get down on their knees and get back up again?
Oh, it's awful.
Try and get them to do it silently. They physically can't. They're creaking. They're going, oof, trying to get up and down. It's tough to be a chairperson.
It is. So, yeah, it's really respected position. You know, I wondered, I don't know if you've ever met anyone this. I once knew someone called Charmaine, but it was spelt Chairmain. Oh. And I thought, I wondered if that's, if she spent her life being a chair.
Yeah.
The main chair.
That is a very elite concept called nominative determinism.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that you can't do that with your?
You're called Tiernan. Have you spent your life running down people's face when they're sad?
Yeah, but only nans.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's or crying when people eat naan bread. That's also what I do. Yeah. See, it's hard with yours, Laura. I suppose do you growl at the law?
Yes. Sometimes I go to court and practice the law in a rah-rah skirt, which is a...
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that make the law better? Yeah. Does that make the law? Is it? Do you think judges should be in rah-rah skirts? I'm just wondering because sometimes judges, they wear quite fancy wigs,
exactly,
and gowns.
But I think we chose what judges and lawyers were going to wear in a very olden days time. We've got all these powdered weird wigs. We've got all these capes. Maybe we need to update it a little bit. Maybe I'd be quite scared if I went to court. I don't really know all the laws and I'd be a bit worried. And if someone came in a lovely skirt for dancing, I think I'd feel comforted.
Yes, yeah. And because there are a lot of laws. There's the law of gravity. There's Cole's law. That's a big one.
Yes, that's delicious, that one.
It's really good. But I don't know if you can eat that in a courtroom.
Yeah. There's a lawn mower.
Oh, yeah, lawn mower. That's for trimming. Is that for trimming the law?
Yes. When you've got a law that's just got too long, too out of hand, you get rid of it. You just trim it down a bit.
Yeah, so that makes
Scottish
sense.
listeners might know about lawn sausage.
What's that? Is that sausage made of
That's when you take a lot of laws and you just pulch them all together into a sausage and you eat it.
Wow. And then once you've eaten it, you then become a lawyer because you know all the law.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the breakfast you have the day you pass your law exams.
I should do that. I don't know any law. I should do that. I should go and eat a lawn sausage.
Yeah.
Wow. You've really made me rethink my breakfast choices.
Well, this is why you've never accidentally become a lawyer, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, do you
some
know,
people, they
heard
don't mean to.
People, yeah.
Some people train really hard to be lawyers. Some people walk into a restaurant and they say, lawn sausage. Well, I've never ordered that before. And they order it and they eat it and it's delicious. And then, bam, they're a lawyer all of a sudden.
And it ruins their other career as a chairperson.
Yeah. And what are you going to do? Not be a lawyer? You have to. You know all the laws now. You ate the sausage.
That's tricky. And then if you were a chairperson, you've always got to stand up in court. So that's that's really got in the way.
Yeah.
Tricksy law.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's hard, isn't it? Sometimes life is really hard. I think the way it springs these things on you, and at least if you're sat down to be prepared for it, that sort of makes it a bit better.
Yeah. Well, this is where the thing that we've got coming out next year is actually the lawn chair, which is consolidating both of these ideas.
Right.
So what we've done is if you've accidentally become a lawyer because you've eaten a lawn sausage, but you're feeling a bit overwhelmed by the situation, you can sit in the lawn chair, and it's in a perpetually sunny garden that we've sort of created in a studio. And you just listen to the birds, you watch a little woodlouse walk past, and you feel all your worries escape you for a minute.
That's very nice. But I guess, are you allowed to take those into court?
No, I think it's just for respite outside the court.
Okay.
I think
Can
there's a
you
lot of
take-
thieves and stuff in court. You wouldn't want to get it stolen, would you?
Sure. Could you take the woodlouse into court?
Yeah. As long as he was either a barrister, a stenographer, or promises not to do perjury.
Oh, that's good. What if it was a criminal woodlouse?
I think they'd have to, I'm not 100% sure, but I think criminal woodlice have to be tried in woodlouse court. I don't think they're allowed to go to
Right.
human court.
Wow. Gosh, I didn't realise that. I've made that mistake before.
Well,
That's a real shame.
Because if you've ever looked at a woodlouse, when a woodlouse
Yeah.
relaxes, it curls up into a ball. So
Yes,
they
yeah,
actually have to
yeah.
sit in hammocks. Because if you sit a woodlouse on a normal chair, it just rolls off. If you think about it, they haven't really got sides. So a hammock's really good. I
Right.
don't know if you were a baby, if you had a bumbo chair, those big rubber chairs. Some of our
Right, is that
listeners
what they're
might
called?
remember
A
those.
bumbo chair?
Yeah, those are quite good for woodlice. But
That's a great name.
really, woodlouse court's better for them.
That's amazing. Well, you see, because I took one to court because I saw it not on some wood. I saw it on some leaves, and I was like, "Well,
Whoa.
you've breached your." But then I found out. I think and any of our US listeners will know this. I think they're called pill bugs in the US and
Yes.
Japan and places like that. They call them pill bugs. So then that's harder. Then you can only find one in a pharmacy, and I've definitely
Yeah.
seen them in the woodland. So I was basically taking it in for a breach of rights. But
I think that's right. Trading standards, maybe.
trading standards,
pull them
that's
up
it.
on that?
Yeah. But I was made to leave. Anyway, it was a long day, and I don't regret it, but I won't do it again, especially not with your advice now. So
I think you're a
appreciate that. Thank you.
stand-up member of society.
Hang on, is that? Well, that's very nice of you, but isn't it better to be sitting down?
Well, in one of my chairs, absolutely.
Sure. Yeah.
But
yeah.
did you get your free one? We did try and send one to your office.
No, I did.
Oh.
And do you know what? That I've realised this explains why I saw the postman the other day sitting down around the corner having a lovely
What?
sit.
They
I am
stole your
outraged.
chair.
Outrageous. Yeah, really awful. But
Oh,
I mean, he
yeah.
looked very happy. He looked very
I'd
content,
made
yeah.
you your very own chair that's just a chair that I'd carved your face into. So that even when you
Right.
weren't in the chair, everyone would know it was your chair.
That's perfect for me. And then if I
Yeah.
was in the chair, people would think, "How is your face there?"
Yeah.
And that would really freak people out. And that's what I
Yeah.
want. That's what
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I'm going to have to chase down that postman.
You need to,
See.
yeah.
See anything for
Maybe ask the woodlice to keep an eye out because presumably they're outside so they can sort of give you a heads up if they see him coming.
Yes, and was the chair wood? Was it
Yeah.
made of wood? Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
then they'll know. They've got like a wood sense.
Yeah.
To
They'll smell it.
They'll know. Well,
It's
thank you.
also pills as well. It's full of pills.
Oh,
So
they'll be
even if
fine.
they're
Yeah,
American
yeah.
woodlice, they'll still
If they're
smell
over
it.
on a trip, then they'll still know where it is. Thank you. You've really thought. You're such a thoughtful guest. I really appreciate that, Laura, and I appreciate you having the time to be on this show yet again, despite you're very busy sitting right now in your chair. But I do have a question that I know you are the expert that can answer it. And as I'm sure you're aware, before I ask you this question, we've got we've been talking about law. These are legally binding admin questions that I have to ask you. Because of the law.
The
And
law.
that's
Yeah.
all I'm going to go into. It's just the law. You understand that. We understand that.
We've all eaten the sausage.
We've always, well, I haven't. I'm going to tomorrow breakfast. I was
Okay,
going to have
yeah.
porridge, but I'll swap it.
Yeah.
Swap it for a sausage. This is my new catchphrase that I'll be pushing around the country.
Swap it for a
Swap it for a
sausage.
sausage. Yeah, there you go. I think it sounds. I don't know what, and I think it could cause a lot of people will be swapping their homes. They'll be swapping
Mm-hmm.
their cars. They'll be really regretting it, but they'll like the catchiness of it. And
Yeah.
I think that's what's important. I was going to ask, how do you feel about admin questions? Are you okay? I know you're very busy with lots of other things, but are you okay to handle some admin?
I'm very busy, but if I've learned one thing in my life, it's that the best thing I can do with my time is share my wisdom with other people.
That's nice. That's very nice. And
When
do
you're
you-
as
do you do that
incredibly
often, or-
smart as I am, yeah,
Yeah.
you can't keep that to yourself.
I agree.
That's
but
got to go, you know?
You've got to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And then does that leave you with no wisdom? Then are you just being
No,
an
it
idiot?
frees up
No.
space for new wisdom and the ghost
wisdom,
of the
right,
old
right.
wisdom still hanging around. So I sort of faintly
That's
remember
creepy, yeah.
that. But It just if you pass on your wisdom, if you just share things all the time, I think it just means all your conversations get better. Because if you sit on a fact and you keep it to yourself, and then you try to talk to another person, they seem boring because they don't know cool facts. Whereas if you've shared all this cool and exciting stuff, then everybody's got more cool and exciting stuff, and I think it makes the world more interesting around you.
That's very nice. My fear would be that I share all my wisdom and then I don't have any because I've got rid of it all, and then I'm an idiot.
But then somebody could tell it back to you, and then you could
That's
just
clever.
constantly, like tennis, but with wisdom.
This is why we're speaking to someone like you, Laura. It's this kind of insight that we need on this show, and I really appreciate it. Well, listen, I think you'll breeze through these admin questions. I don't think you'll find them hard at all. The first one is very simply, you're aware that this show is for people of all ages. You can imagine 6, 26, 406, 1006, the Ice Age, the Bronze Age, whatever age you can imagine, they listen in from all over the universe. And I just want to make sure that this episode stays family friendly. And if there are any rude words that you won't be saying.
Any rude words I won't be saying. I won't be calling anybody a hole.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know if you know this, but in rude words, calling somebody a something hole, you can put lots of stuff before the hole, and it's all rude.
Yes, that's
so
true,
if you
yeah.
double the number of holes in that,
Right.
then it's double rude.
Yeah, because that's like saying they're like a slice of Emmental cheese.
Yeah.
That's the worst cheese because it's mostly air.
Completely holy. They are worse than the Pope.
Yes. Wow. Oh, wow. That's really...
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a lot,
quite an
isn't it?
insult.
Yeah.
Crazy, you're worse than the Pope. You're like a slice of cheese. It contains a lot in that one phrase.
Yeah.
You're like a porous rock. I mean, there's a lot of... Yeah.
Yeah. I won't be calling anybody a nana, which some people just think is short for banana, but actually it's a really good way of insulting your nana, but just changing the pronunciation a bit so she doesn't know.
That's okay, but I just want to step in here. That's why when I see nanas, I have to cry.
Yeah.
Because they've often been insulted in this way.
Yeah.
And actually, that's what gives me 90% of my work and income. So thank you very much.
That's
very
quite
useful.
all right. That's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else won't I be doing? Are there any more rude words I really don't want you guys to know about?
We've got hole, we've got nana. And you wouldn't want to call someone a whole nana as well. So that sounds like they're
Absolutely
two
not.
full bananas.
No. Yeah. Yeah. I don't even know if I can say this one.
It's okay, you won't be saying it, so...
Okay, can you bleep this one out?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay. I won't be saying cake.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm going to have to bleep that one out.
Yeah. If you say cake is so delicious, all anybody can then think about is eating cake. So you have absolutely ruined the focus of everybody in the vicinity every time you say cake.
That's awful. Yeah, I mean, it's devastating actually because all I can think about now is cake. And I know you haven't said it and you're not going to say it, but even the mere thought about saying it, all I would want to do now.
Please don't forget to bleep the word out, by the way. I don't want you to have accidentally forgotten and for us to just be saying cake. Because it's not a word that is... This will ruin my reputation if people find out I say cake sometimes.
Yeah.
Banana cake,
listen,
chocolate
I will.
cake, walnut cake, almond cake, carrot cake, just cake, Victoria sponge cake, cheesecake.
Yeah. How do you feel about, because the ones that ruin it for me are cakes of soap cakes.
Oh, yeah.
I
normally say bar of soap because
yes,
I don't really
clever,
drink much anyway, so I don't mind thinking about a bar.
That's good. Yes, that's very good. And there's stools in bars as well, so it's also
not a fan.
Clearly not a place for you. Yeah, that makes sense. I think it's very sensible to not say cake. I worry any listeners listening to this will have had a birthday recently or coming up and will already be thinking about it, and therefore it won't matter whether you say it or not.
Yeah. You you can switch it up. If you can say birthday cake cacophony if you slip.
Nice.
And if someone says, "Oh, what's for my birthday cake, Karoo?" You can sort of add other words onto the end of it if you need to cover up somebody else using it when they don't realise the power of that word.
That's great. That's very handy. But how do you feel about gâteau?
Tu parles en français? Oui.
Oui, un peu. Yeah.
Oui.
Oui.
I don't mind gâteau. I think because one of my favourite songs is "In the Gâteau" by Elvis. Which,
Yes, beautiful
if listeners
song. Yeah.
haven't heard it, they should request their parents to play it for them. And that is a song about being some icing and being stuck in between two slices of cake and not really knowing what to do.
Which did happen to Elvis. It was one of the things that happened to him, actually, in his life. And he sang singing from the heart.
That's why people loved him so much. He tasted so sugary sweet, delicious.
Wonderful man.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Listen, Laura, I appreciate you not saying cake, and I will definitely have to bleep that out. And obviously not whole or nana as well, but most certainly cake will get bleeped out and removed because.
Please don't have the word cake in this podcast.
No, I wouldn't dream of it, and I worry what would happen to this
Can you
show
imagine?
and also to audio.
Do you imagine how many complaints we'd get if you'd forgotten to bleep it out and we were just there like, "Oh, tin and cake, oh, Laura, cake. Wow, we'd be in so much trouble.
We'd get complaints, but you mentioned the Pope earlier. The Pope would complain, and he'd be fine with you saying "hole" even, but he would.
Would he complain? Would he have time? He's up to his ears in cake.
He is.
If you imagine, right, when you're a normal person and you have a birthday, people get you a cake, yeah? Imagine you've become the Pope. How many people are going to buy you a cake? You're probably eating cake for about 10 years after you become Pope, just to get through all those first Popes cakes. And then by the time you finished all the first Pope's cakes that you get sent as a congratulation of becoming Pope, people are saying, "Oh, it's 10 years since you became the Pope. Here, have a 10th anniversary Pope cake." Suddenly, you've got 50,000 more cakes to eat.
That's true, isn't it? But I feel I'd have thought the Pope gives a lot of cake away.
Yeah, probably. It's quite a sharing sort of culture.
It's very sharing. I'd have thought he's always giving out cake. He's got his little Pope mobile, fills it with cake, throws it at people as they wave. People wave at the Pope, probably throws cake in their eyes, and and it's a nice. I think I can see, and therefore I think that on behalf of everyone else, he would be offended by you saying cake. Not me so much, but definitely you saying cake on this podcast. So look, it's good. Anyway, you haven't said it. I wouldn't say it. Wouldn't dream of saying it. So,
no, never.
I really appreciate that. And listen, this next question, I do worry it ties in actually slightly, which we have to be careful about. But this is a harder question, Laura, and I think you'll be fine with it. Would you rather that all your clothes were made of pasta, i.e. penne for sleeves, lasagna sheets for the other bits, or that every single birthday you grew another arm?
Is the pasta cooked?
Good question.
Is it cooked or is it... Because pasta can be quite sharp when it's dry. So are we talking like fresh fancy pasta, or are we talking a bag of dried pasta, or are we talking like it's just come out of a pot of hot water? What are we doing with that pasta?
It's not specified, so I think that'll be up to you. And I think there is obviously, dried pasta is like armour, quite handy at times.
Yeah.
Where fresh pasta, quite clingy and horrible. I don't know when that would be nice for, but other times, I guess.
This is tricky. Okay, so here are my initial thoughts. Yeah. Dried pasta, that's going to be spiky. I don't really like to wear spiky clothes. I'm not a knight from the 1200s. I don't want to wear chainmail.
I hadn't realised. Right, sure. Yep.
My dad was. That's probably what you're getting confused
got it.
with,
that's when I was.
Yep.
Sorry.
I didn't go into the family business, so that worries me. However, I'm also worried if it's cooked pasta. I'm worried that's going to rip. And you are going to see parts of my body that should be covered in clothes. So those are my pasta worries.
And you've also got the fact that if it's cooked pasta, people might think it's a snack.
Whereas
if it's
might
dry
think
pasta,
it's a snack.
Yeah.
Do I value my dignity and being warm in my clothes more than I like eating pasta? The answer is no. I love eating pasta. It's delicious. I'd be just rolling around in paddling pools full of pesto.
Wow.
I'd be going out in Parmesan snow just to sort of make myself even more delicious.
Juggling with meatballs. There's all sorts of. There's a whole world of.
So I have worries. I also think sun-dried tomato earrings could look cute though with the outfit. So there's positives, but I have worries. With the arm thing, now, has this been happening to me since birth? Or does it start now?
It doesn't specify. So there's a possibility that were you to agree to it, you'd automatically get one for every birthday you've had so far, or it's as of your next birthday. I don't know. I don't know which way it's going to go.
Because here's what I'm thinking.
Make these rules. Yeah.
I'm already 39 years old. So that's a lot of arms.
Yeah, that's already.
A lot of arms. I don't know about, I mean, you know, if I could can I make these arms tiny little arms that are sort of coming off my arm in a sort of fringe? Do they have to be full-sized arms, or can I have, you know, like little wispy, friendly tendrils that some under the sea creatures have?
Well, it could be like, you know, you can get those little things to put on your fingers that look like little hands. So you got little hands on your fingers. You could have little arms on your fingers. So you've got extra.
Because if I had that, like I do a lot of like knitting and stuff like that, you know, if I had, you know, sort of 19 arms down one side and 20 arms down the other side, that's really great for holding little things. You know, when I'm trying to French plait my daughter's hair, they could be holding all sorts of strands. That could be really useful. If they're full-sized arms, though, it brings me back to, I'm going to really struggle to get jumpers.
Jumpers are that's a real problem. And then you probably could do with pasta clothes.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I'm probably going to end up dressing in pasta anyway.
So it doesn't make a lot of difference. Yeah, would you walk around like a spider? Because I feel like I would. If I had lots of arms, I think I'd feel I'd have to walk around like a little spider guy.
Absolutely. So I think if I can have tiny arms, I'm going to have tiny arms. I think I would enjoy having tiny arms. If they're full-sized arms, I think I end up with pasta clothes either way, because how else are you going to dress yourself?
Would you enjoy, you know, like when people go, yeah, you and whose army? And you'd be like, these armies.
Oh.
Yeah, that would be the one. Yeah. The one bonus. That's
It'd
the only
be difficult going into airports though, because they'd be like, are you armed? And I'd be like, more than no.
Whoa. And also when they make you lift up your arms at the airport to check, you know, you'd be there for days.
Yeah. Imagine how much people could tickle you because you would have so many armpits.
No, that's awful. And yes.
Deodorant?
That would be dangerous.
You'd use so much deodorant.
Very dangerous. It's quite exhausting, actually. Whereas you could just put on a little, one of those, the little shell pasta. You could have one of those as a hat. Yeah. You know, that's quite nice.
Yeah. Have a little bikini like Ariel.
Yeah, yes, there you go. But she's in water all the time, so it would really not.
If I made tagliatelle, I never know how to pronounce that one. You could knit yourself some clothes out of al dente spaghetti or tagliatelle, couldn't you?
That's nice. I think you're right. There's a lot more versatility in the pasta one.
Yeah.
Arms is arms, you know?
Arms is arms. But if I can have tiny arms, I want them, even though they'll be annoying.
Sure. Fair enough.
I'm not going to turn that down.
I can't tell you how big those arms are going to be. I don't make those rules. I just dish them out as part of our legal admin, legally binding admin. So it's just something that you have to deal with once you've made your choice.
Okay. Arms.
There you go. Fair enough. Good. You analysed it. You thought about it carefully. That's all I asked for. I really appreciate that.
I think it's the gamble, isn't it? But if somebody offers you arms, I think you're mad to say no.
Well, fair enough. I respect that a lot. I really respect that.
Imagine how much, and excuse me for the language here, imagine how much cake you could hold with 39 arms.
Wow. I can't believe you said that. That's
Sorry.
Yeah, that's right. This is going to have to get bleeped out. Listen, Laura, thank you for taking that very seriously.
Of course.
Now, this is why I've asked you here, and again, I'm very grateful that you could be here for this. I'm going to read you out this question in one, just as it is, okay? And you take from it what you feel. Actually, I might not read it as it is. There's quite a lot of numbers in there. So the first bit is, I am Benjamin, am 99.9999999 of the 9th to the power of 9998888 to the power of 9999 to the power of 9909. So that's Benjamin. That's how, I mean, it actually doesn't say how many, that's how old he is. That just says he is that number. So he could be, he could be.
Is that his barcode?
It might be his bar. Maybe if we scan it, we get straight to Benjamin.
Yeah.
It could be his location. It could be his sort of compass points. It could be
Could be his phone number if the person at the phone shop really didn't like him.
Yes, very possible. It could be the amount of arms he has. I mean, it could be that he's had a lot of birthdays. He's got a lot of arms. I don't know. He hasn't explained.
Maybe
I can't tell you.
He's got a lot of brothers and sisters also called Benjamin.
Oh,
and
right.
they all have to have
number.
The first one was Benjamin 1.
Yes.
Benjamin 2.
Yes.
And this is just what happens when your Benjamins get out of control.
Well, it's what happens with royalty, isn't it? Where you have like Charles II or whatever. It's because they're the so this is just Benjamin the.
Is this a king?
99 point.
Talking to the king?
What's this? Is this?
Are we talking to the king? King Benjamin the 9th.
King Benjamin the. I hadn't thought about that. Well, he hasn't said.
Maybe it just assumes we'd know. I wouldn't be like, hello, I'm Charles II. I'm the king, by the way. I'd expect people to know.
If you're just Benjamin, you're Benjamin the... It's a very good point. I mean, I also feel it's worth pointing out that he could be called Ben, but he has jam in. He could be like a donut.
Yeah. Full of jam and the king. Try reading out in a kingly voice and we'll see if it feels right. And then if it doesn't feel right, we can go back to the drawing board.
That's a very smart idea. Well, let me read his question in a kingly way.
Okay.
Why is you do wib wob with grub?
That's definitely a king.
It's a king.
That is the way kings talk.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Why is you do wib wob with grub? What a kingly question.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't want to be rude.
Right, okay. I'm a bit worried you're about to be rude. Yep.
Who else is anybody doing wib-wob with, if not your grandma?
That's true. Sure. Yeah, sure.
I didn't really realise you could do it with anybody else.
Yeah, that's a good point. But is that just because nobody's thought about it before?
I wonder if royalty aren't allowed to, though. Do they have to do wib-wob alone? Because when I grew up, when I was a kid, just automatically, when the grub came out of the nugget hole, that was when you did wib-wob. So we never did wib-wob unless the grub came out of the nugget hole. So I'm just thinking, if you're in a palace and you haven't got a nugget hole and there's no grub in and out, what's it? Is it the 22nd minute of every hour that the grub comes out?
Yes, I think it's but only during any months that end in a Y, I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah. So if they don't have that, they might be doing a different version of wib-wob.
Well, they probably do have it, but they've probably got servants to do that for them.
Oh, what, a servant dressed up as a grub? Or a servant doing wib-wob?
No. Oh, probably both. They probably have a servant dressed up as a grub for the king. For the king to wib-wob. But then they probably also have a servant to deal with the actual grub who wallops it with a paddle stick, you know?
I think this is quite a lonely question, isn't it? Because I just think most of the happiest times of my life have been doing wib-wob with a grub.
Really? So, you enjoyed it? I found it quite a chore, I'll be honest.
Really? Why? Because you have to do it so much?
Yes, there are times... Well, it's just... Lots of times, especially the first time of the day, you think, I get to wib-wob with the grub. But then by the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th time of the day, you're thinking... I really want to have a sandwich, or I've got other stuff to do. I've got to go and say hey to a yak. I've got a busy day ahead, and I'm still here wib-wobbing with the grub. They're quite tireless.
I get it. You know? I think I just like how sticky you are by the end of it. That you go from just having like a normal house to by the end of the day, this is sticky everywhere. Yeah. Yeah. I think I like that mayhem. I like sitting down at the end of the day and that squelch noise when your bum hits the sofa and the grub sort of peering out the nugget hole, just grinning at you. And you're like, you got me today, buddy. But tomorrow is going to be the day that custard stays on your eyelashes.
That's that. You've got beautiful nostalgia about this, and I respect that. And I can also see that, and maybe I'm delving to, I'm not going to do a sort of therapist thing here, but you were sitting when you did, you said, you put your bum on the sofa. Is that where you got your whole chairs thing from? Is it from your days with the grub?
Yeah, my first grub were on the 9th grub now, I think, because they wear out, don't they?
They do, they really do. It's a sad day, actually, when your first one.
But my first grub, her middle name was Chair.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah. Grub, Chair, Gub.
That's
and
really nice.
She was always like, we've danced 14 times today and you look exhausted? And I'd say, yeah, absolutely. But if I lie down on the floor, I've got to get back up again. So I'm just going to stay stood. And she was like, there must be a halfway option. And I was
Beautiful.
like, I don't think there is. I could lean against the wall. And she sort of said, well, when we're doing the wib wob, your knees bend. So what if you bent your knees and sort of went halfway down? And I sort of went into a squat, and I said, well, yeah, I guess this is nice. It's a bit different, but it's a lot of strain on your leg muscles. And she said, put a little thing under your bum. And I said, no, I'm not allowed to do that. I've been caught doing that before and it's rude. And she said, no, do it. So I did it. And then basically that first thing I did sit on was a stool, which is disgusting. But I quite quickly said, my back hurts because I'm very old. And so we put like a back support onto it.
Amazing.
And
This is
then
beautiful. I mean, what I'm getting from this is King Benjamin here hasn't invented anything.
Well, it sits on a
Because
throne.
he hasn't been wib-wobbing with a grub, well, which is a chair, to be fair. Yeah.
Well, it is, but it's a chair with ideas about itself, isn't it?
Sure. It's a bit, highfalutin
Yeah.
chair. Yeah. But you
I
wonder,
think the thing about a chair is
yeah.
that when you sit on a chair, you are everybody. And the thing about a throne is when you sit on a throne, you are better than everybody. And then I just don't think it's got the same down-to-earth appeal as a chair.
Unless you're one of those people who calls the toilet a throne, in which case you're someone on the toilet. You're still a king on the toilet. So it's still...
I call my toilet a dirty bleep, bleep, bleep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cake.
Yeah.
Call it a dirty cake.
A dirty cake, bleep cake.
Wow. That's dirty cake.
Yeah.
That's horrible. Wow.
But
That's
the
really,
middle
wow.
cake, the middle cake is in capital letters.
Wow. Well, that's a horrible... I don't think I'd want to go to the toilet again if I called it.
No.
That's,
And sometimes I swap the C
Even
and the
though-
K over. So I spell cake K-A-C-E. And people say case, and I say no. C for cat. Shh.
well, for catch. Wow. That's... Wow. Look, I mean, we've delved into places, I didn't realise...
This
You've
goes
really
out.
changed my
This
mind.
goes out
Yeah.
late at night, though, doesn't it?
It
So
does.
it's okay
It does.
to
Yeah,
use
it
all
only
this
goes out
language.
to listeners who are mentally prepared to deal with this sort of language,
Okay.
and of course some 6-year-olds. So, but they're fine. They're fine. They're really on it, 6-year-olds. So it's fine. I just want to check if King Benjamin isn't wib-wobbing with a gub, is there anyone else or anything else he could wib-wob with? Do you think that would be a suitable substitute?
I think gardeners are often very good at it.
Yes.
So
Okay,
if you can
nice.
persuade a gardener to get out of the flower bed, put the lawnmower down, your career will wait, and do some wib wobbing, they tend to have a really good sense of spatial awareness, an eye for colour change, which is important with a wib wob, and they
Very
really don't
important.
mind being grubby or gubby.
That's great. Oh, Gubby, yeah, beautiful. Listen, what incredible advice, and I hope that King Benjamin listens to that. My worry is he's got someone else to listen to it for him,
Yeah.
and who'll then have to report back at some, while giving him a boiled egg on a silver spoon or something. So hopefully, though, he listens to it, he takes it in, and soon maybe he will be wib-wobbing with a gub, or at least with a gardener, and have a much happier life.
Yeah. And I think just to go back to the essence of the question, because he really asked why. And I just
why?
like to say, because it's beautiful.
Yeah, that's lovely. That's really lovely. What an insightful conversation. Thank you. It's this sort of chat that I do this podcast for, and to be able to put these kind of thoughts and this education out into the world. So thank you for that. It was really beautiful talking to you about all of this. And I've got to check, you're very busy. You've got so much on, but what have you got coming up in the next 67 years? Have you got anything much going on?
A lot of grub gubbing. I'm trying to get out of being a lawyer, but I did go to Edinburgh, which is in Scotland, and I did have some lawn sausage this year. So I've got to defend a couple of
yes.
people who were going too fast on the motorway. So I have to do that. I'm really into sticker books at the moment. I'm doing a lot of sticker books.
Great, good. Yeah.
So I really like the ones where you have to get people dressed with the stickers.
Oh yes, yeah,
Doing
those
a
are
lot
nice.
of that. I
Those
don't
are
have
nice,
time to
yeah.
fit much work in anymore because there's so many stickers that need putting in other places. I don't know
That's
why
fair.
when they print the sticker book, why don't you just start with the stickers where you want them? Don't give me half a job.
Yes, I do think that a lot of it's strange, isn't it? Where you think you could have these could just already be in their place. You've put all these blank spaces.
Yeah.
You've put the stickers separately. What's wrong with you?
It's a lot of work for us.
Yeah. I feel the same with puzzles. Like, just have it as a picture. Why have you cut this picture up?
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Lego.
You could just have a picture. Yeah.
Why have you broken this toy up into lots of tiny pieces? You could just give me a toy.
It's very weird, isn't it?
It's really weird.
Very weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always just repairing people's mistakes and mess ups. And that's life. That's life for you. Well, listen, Laura, thank you so much. Good luck with the chairs. Good luck with the stickers.
Thank you.
Good luck with the grub gub. You don't need good luck. You know what you're doing there. So yeah. And it's been just an absolute pleasure. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Big thanks to Laura Lexx for having time in between inventing chairs to answer King Benjamin's very, very important question. Benjamin, I hope you liked your answer, but if not, why not try sending any complaints you have via a grub gub, and I won't ever have to see them as I've already got my own grub gub for wobs, so I'm not going to be using another one, am I? If you have any questions like Benjamin did that you need to have answered, then please get your nearest gumpy dizzard, grown up, to help you email me at podcast@comedyclub4kids.co.uk, and please also check out comedyclubforkids.co.uk for all of our live shows that are happening all over the UK. Oh, and also, for any of you listeners who are a bit younger from, say, 5 to 7 trumpets, or I guess years old, do check out Stan and Gran on Milkshake Channel 5, as I've written some of the episodes, including one about worms, and it is such a fun and lovely show. And anyway, listeners, who cares about any of that stuff when I'm about to become mega famous because I've managed to get brain rot right here on Radio Nonsense. I wasn't sure how to do it because I feel all our guests are just too serious for us to say things like pickledy bathtub or cup of tea banana reno or something. So instead I found some really old rotting fruit and I stuffed it in my ears to get that rot as close to my brain as possible. Has that worked? Has that worked? I can't hear you or anything, and it just feels really disgusting in my ears. I'm going to take this out of my ears. Ugh. Yeah, none of those tips really worked at all, did they? What else do I need to do to make Radio Nonsense listened to by everyone in the universe and their aunt? Do I need to get some farting laboobos? Do I need to make everything in this show K-pop? Do I have to do everything 6-7 times? I just don't know. Ugh. I'm going to put on the TV and see if I get inspired.
And our headline tonight: horrible idiot with rotten apples in his ears snubs the world's most famous tree, Dennis Tremendous. We cut to the crowds outside Comedy Club for Kids HQ.
Wait, is that this Comedy Club for Kids HQ? I'm going to have to check outside. Hooray! Loads of people are interested in the show. Hey everyone, Wednesday should be backwards, right? Let me come out and greet you all. Ah! Ow, I thought that was a big tree really far away. I hate you, Dennis. Bye.
You have been listening to Comedy Club for Kids presents. Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense. It's the end.